Yo, yo, yo. Hey, man, this is your boy at DFSMASTERMIND _ over on Twitter. Thank you for clicking on the video. Today's date is the 3rd. It's Friday evening. We got a lovely 10 game slate. Hopefully everybody did their homework. I'm coming out with this video. I'm gonna drop my top plays. Normally it's gonna be top 3, but it was so many games today, and it was my first video. I decided to throw a couple extra people in there. My top value plays for tonight. First, I got Allen Williams at 4,400. Earl Watson came out, I believe, probably 2 days ago, and he said that Allen Williams is gonna get a lot of opportunity to showcase his skill, man. The veteran Tyson Chandler, he's been bumped out of the rotation. So you down to a 2-man show. Alex Lynn is the starter. I like him too, man. He's a little cheaper, but Allen Williams right now definitely is the hotter player. He's being more aggressive. He's looking for a shot. I think he's in a really good spot tonight versus OKC. We got Jahlil Okafor at 4,900. I think a lot of people might be done with Jahlil Okafor. He played New York a couple days ago. The man put up a monster game. I can pull that up really quick. He had a really nice game. In that game, he played 29 minutes, dropped 43 fantasy points, and I don't see why it couldn't happen tonight. And I think his ownership percentage will be very, very low. I think people, the cat is kind of out of the bag. Rashard Holmes and Saric and Covington, I think they'll see the majority of the ownership. And I think Jahlil Okafor could go under the radar, be a really, really nice play. I shouldn't have said under the radar because that was my next segment. But I like Jahlil Okafor as value too. Number 3, we got Brandon Ingram at 4,800. He's a young kid, man. He's playing a ridiculous amount of minutes. He has an up-pace matchup tonight with Boston. I think you lock him in there. And he'll bring back return, man. If anything, he'll hustle for you. He'll get rebounds, and that leads to him playing a lot of minutes on the court. So even if his shot is not going down early, don't get nervous because he does the right things to be put in a position to stay on the court, and that's what we want to look for, man. I think he's at a really decent price at 4.8. I don't think you can go wrong with him, especially playing as many minutes as he is. I think he's locked in for a good night. We got Taj Gibson at 38. Taj Gibson, man, OKC. He's starting to get comfortable. We know Sabonis is not a real. He's not a real threat. Scoring the ball defensively, he's just a filler piece right now. He's the only thing that OKC had. So Taj Gibson is going to take over that spot. I like him tonight as a value play at 38. Then you got Doug McDermott, same situation. We got Depot out. Doug McDermott, he gets buckets, man. I've been rostering him the last couple nights. His minutes are steady going up. I believe last night he played around 28 minutes. You'll see a lot of people going for Abrinas, but I'll go the other way and stick with Doug McDermott. And he's cheaper than Abrinas. I think he's a better player than Abrinas. So, he played 37 minutes last night. So that pretty much, that tells you right there. He's going to be taking over that 2 spot while Depot's out at least. And I'm going to do my last one, value. I'm going to say Joe Johnson, 33. It's real cheap, man. Rodney Hood is out. Joe Ingles will get a lot of the ownership because he's starting. A little narrative, Joe Johnson is going back to play Brooklyn. I like him tonight. And I know I said he was my last one, but I want to mention this guy just in case. Justin Anderson for the 76ers. He got signed to them. They're real short at the guard and forward spot. Um, he's a hustler. Came from Dallas. He can shoot the ball. The man he's an athlete. Hard nosed grinder type player, and I think he'll have minutes tonight with Henderson being out. Stauskas will likely get the start, but I think we could definitely see Justin Anderson get enough minutes to crush his price tag. We're gonna move on to these are my under the radar players. This is what I'm gonna call this spot or this section. First, I got Westbrook down at 13. I feel like a lot of people are gonna look at that price and be scared of it, and I don't know why. Because my one rule is I don't fade Westbrook. Like I said, he's gonna have to get up to 14 racks for me to think about fading him. I think Westbrook is he's two players. The points that he gets you on a nightly basis, even when he have an off game, it's the points that you would see from two high average players, and I think I'm willing to pay that 13 for Westbrook tonight. Second, I got Kawhi Leonard at 88. Kawhi, I wrote him down because he's explosive, but the only downside with Kawhi is if Greg Popovich is playing with his minutes, it could be a short night for Kawhi. But I think against New Orleans, if he gets 30, let's say 33 minutes, he could put up big fantasy numbers. I don't know who's gonna guard him, but it won't matter. They don't have anybody who can stop Kawhi. Next, I got Drew Holiday, 3,900 going against the Spurs. I think he's in a really good spot. Tony Parker will not be able to keep up with young Drew. And I think a lot of people are still hurt by the way that Drew performed these past couple games. Me included, man. I picked him almost every night. But with his price tag going down, I might as well take another chance on him. I like him tonight. Dwight Howard at 6'5". Dwight Howard's in a really good spot. It should be a fast-paced game versus Cleveland. I think Dwight dominates anybody. Like he looks forward to playing centers who think they're stoppers. Dwight Howard is a super aggressive guy, man. I could see him showing up big time in this one. So I wrote him down. And his price tag is kind of cheap. I also like Millsap, too. I didn't write him down, but I think Millsap could have a good game. LaMarcus Aldridge versus either AD or Boogie Cousins. Either one, he can roast him, man. He's cheap. And if this game turns into a shootout, man, that's what we love. Like, if Kawhi plays 4 quarters, he could crush this price tag. If this game stays close, which I got a good feeling it will, Boogie coming off the suspension, the teams had rest. I think it'll be a good game. I know Pelicans are starting to hear the noise that they're trash, and when you got players as good as they got, you want to show up, man. You don't like hearing people talk bad about you. So I think Boogie Cousins and AD, they're gonna come out ready to play, along with Drew Holiday. But next we got James Johnson at 5'6". He's going up against Orlando. I like this guy a lot, man. He's one of my favorite people to roster. He's super consistent. Even when he have a bad game, it's like a 30-point game, 28. It's not gonna kill your roster. And I think against Orlando, they're real thin, man. Aaron Gordon, I think that would actually be a good matchup. But I think James Johnson can get the best of Gordon. He plays with the second unit, but he stays in. Like, his rotation is so cool to me because he starts off versus the bums, and then he kind of controls he kind of just fades into the starter role and plays with the first unit. And like he's a really solid player. He'll get several matchups tonight, and anybody Orlando tries to put on him, I don't think it'll work, man. And he's a facilitator, hustles, rebounds, points, 3-point shot. He does it all. I like him for under the radar. Marquise Chris at 4-3. He's super cheap, playing with the starters, getting good minutes. I think he's in a fast-paced game tonight. Start off against Sabrinas. You gotta like him, man. Hustler. I like him a lot too. And these Phoenix Suns players, Earl Watson said he wants to get these young fellas some extra looks. So that's stuff that we got to pay attention to. Tyler Ulis, he could definitely be in play. He's been having a couple good games. I wouldn't take a chance on that Jones fella yet, but they got the dude that was in the dunk contest. I can't think of his name right now. But he's been seeing extended minutes. You gotta watch out for these things. Moving on, we got Robeson for OKC at 4-1. I think he's gonna have to play a lot of minutes. He's cheap too, and he's gonna have T.J. Warren defense. I could drop buckets on T.J. Warren. He's one of the worst in the league. I think Robeson can have a sneaky night, man. Everybody knows he can produce the rebounds, steals, deflect balls. He can do all the hustle plays for you. When he crushes his price tag is when he scores the ball. And I think he could just drive on T.J. Warren, man, and get past him and lay the ball up. I think he has enough talent for that. So he's going to be actually one of my favorite plays tonight. I like him. Under the radar, my last two, I got Zubac for LA. I don't know what's been going on with his minutes, but I know the Lakers know they have a good player in this young fella. Last game, I think he only played like 8 minutes, which is it's a little strange. I don't know what happened. Yeah, he played 8 minutes. I don't think that'll happen again. I might take a chance on him. He's not one of my lock and loads. But if he gets his 20 minutes, the man will crush his price tag. He's a big fella, rebounds the ball really well, and he can score, man. He can score with ease. He's gifted. My last one is gonna be E'Twaun Moore. Just because Pelicans are thin, they don't have a lot of options when it comes to guards, and I think E'Twaun Moore, man, for 35, you can take a look at him. He's getting the starter role, starter minutes, so I just wrote him down as one of the under radar kind of sneaky value plays. And my last section, this is gonna be my all-in plays. These are going to be, I'm going to give you 3 players that I have in every single one of my lineups tonight. Starting off with Westbrook. I told you earlier one thing about me, about DFS Mastermind. I do not fade Westbrook. And I always try to ask people, like, why would you fade him? I think Westbrook he's a lock for tonight, man. I know he's coming off a back-to-back, but this guy is an animal, man. He's not like other players. This man gets up to play every single day, and he looks forward to playing basketball. So I locked him in. He's one of my top all-in plays everywhere. 100% exposure. Next, I have Allen Williams at 4,400. I told you about Earl Watson and how his young players are going to be getting extended run. I like him tonight. And last but not least, my guy, Mr. Jordan Clarkson. At 40, he's at 59 though. He's kind of expensive, but ever since Lou Will left town, the man has taken over that role. I look for him to have a really good game against Boston. He's going to be my late night hammer. That was my top plays for the day. Thank you for watching the video. Bless up. Let's get it. If you have any questions, hit me up at DFS Mastermind _ on Twitter. Thank you, and let's cash out, fellas.